Texas Rangers continue their series versus the Seattle Mariners tonight at Safeco Field. Rangers right-hander Kevin Millwood squares off against M's lefty Jared Washburn. Game time set for 7:05 in Seattle. Texas ended May by losing 8 of 9 games to go 9-20 for the month. In last night's 9-5 loss, Vicente Padilla gave up 7 runs in just 3 innings. Mark Teixeira went hitless and Sammy Sosa struck out 4 times in the cleanup spot. The Rangers are a season-low 16 games under 500. In the win, the M's got it done with small ball, and they had only 1 extra base hit among their 14. Ichiro extended his hitting streak to 24 games with a 3-hit, 2 RBI display. Mariners gave a full game on the Angels and celebrated their first winning month since 2003. Kevin Millwood comes off the disabled list to make his 8th start of the season, his 300th big league appearance. The 32-year-old surrendered 4 earned runs or more in each of his last 4 outings prior to being placed on the disabled list with a strained left hamstring. Jared Washburn is 5-4 with a 3.22 ERA in 10 starts this season. Will make his 25th career appearance versus the Rangers tonight. The steady Washburn has gone 6 or more innings in 9 of his 10 starts, tied for the most wins in May with 4. For Texas, the bright spot has been shortstop Michael Young, who's hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games, raised his average 29 points during that span. And even though he went hitless yesterday, center fielder Kenny Lofton celebrated his 40th birthday. For the Mariners, shortstop Yuniesky Betancourt, nowhere near 40, extended his hitting streak to 12 games with 2 hits last night. Adrian Beltre continues his hot streak with 2 more hits of his own. The former home run champ is now hitting .280 with 9 home runs. The Rangers and the Mariners, Millwood versus Washburn. Game time set for 7:05 in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.TV beginning at 10 Eastern.
We are still 20 days away from the official opening of summer, but you wouldn't know it by today. Look at Green Lake. Isn't that a pastoral scene? And everybody enjoying roller skating, lying down, getting some sunshine. Ah, what a day it is. If you were born on this date, you're a Gemini. And it's kind of a shame we're not playing the Twins tonight, isn't it? No, we're playing the Texas Rangers. The Mariners and the Rangers in the second game of this 4-game series. And as we look at the standings, we find good news. The Mariners overnight, with their win, with the Angels' loss, picked up a game on Los Angeles in their 4.5 back in the West. To you all, welcome to June. A very happy evening to you. Dave Niehaus along with Mike Flowers as we look at our Chevy note of the night about the Mariners offense. It's a little on the unbelievable side.
It really has been. You can see the record 6-3, but look what they're hitting with men in scoring position. .474, averaging almost 8 runs a game. The offense has been outstanding so far.
Last night, Ichiro up there to extend his hitting streak to 24 games to tie the Mariner club record, and it didn't take him very long at all. He was on the unbelievable side, as he usually is. He goes for the record tonight.
Well, he does. You can see where he gets this ball out here, flares it into left field for his base hit. And then, of course, the infield variety. Little chopper right here that he's able to beat out. Michael Young makes a good play, but Ichiro beats that one out. And then in the 8th inning, you can see this solid base hit up the middle. So he's really been swinging the bat well. He's been hot. A little bit of everything, a lot of infield hits, a lot of those little bloops into left field, but he's also hit some balls hard lately.
Well, he had a fantastic May, and now he starts a new month. It started on May the 7th, and last night he was 3 for 5. Speaking of pitching, the pitching matchup, it should be a dandy. More on that. Here's Dave Sims.
Tonight's pitching matchup puts together a couple of veteran pitchers, Jared Washburn against Kevin Millwood. Washburn has won 3 of his last 4 games. He works as quickly as anybody in Major League Baseball. And he's 0-1 against Texas, but he's on a roll right now. Kevin Millwood coming off of 2 stints on the disabled list for the Texas Rangers, and they need him badly. Their pitching core is really down without Millwood. Millwood is 1-1 against the Mariners so far this season. We'll take a break, and when we come back, Dave and Mike will have first pitch action on a spectacular night for baseball here in Seattle.
Pre-summer's eve, not quite, but on a summer-like evening, Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by Dodge, Grab Life, by the Horns, by AT&T. Singular's name is now AT&T. Your world delivered. And by Ricoh. Move your ideas forward with Ricoh dependability. who threw out the first pitch tonight. One of the greatest second basemen in the history of the game did. Certainly he would be recognized as that. Mr. Brett Boone. Welcome back home, Brett. Booney throwing out a little lob toss up there, and hopefully he'll join us here in the booth a little later on. Let's look at the lineups, Michael.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Ichiro is going to lead it off. Then you have Jose Vidro hitting second. Guillen's hitting third. Ibanez fourth. Richie Sexton's hitting fifth. Look what the Mariners have done with men in scoring position last night. They had a terrific night last night with guys out on base. Hopefully that'll continue tonight. Betancourt hitting eighth, and Lopez hitting ninth.
Ah, there he is, going out to stick his toe in the water, that beautiful child. If he gets in the water, those diapers will weigh about 9 pounds, if they don't already. We'll be back and have more right after this. Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By Les Schwab, celebrating 50 years of pride in performance. And by Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Visit emeraldqueen.com. The Mariners and the Rangers, game 2 of this 4-game series. Let's look at the Rangers lineup, Michael.
Okay. It's Kenny Lofton leading off. Michael Young, you can see he's hit really well against Seattle this year, and he's hit Washburn well, too. You have Teixeira, Sosa, Diaz, Bird, Kinsler, Laird, and Cotta hitting ninth. And our Rico scouting report on Jared. You see that he's been good in his last 2 starts. Look at that ERA, 2 points up. Left-handers have had trouble against him, and he's gone through the bottom of the order in fine fashion with just a 184 average. And the guys that are playing behind him tonight, you have Ibanez in left, Ichiro in center, Guillen in right, Beltre at third, Betancourt at short, Lopez at second base, Richie Sexton over at first base, no errors this year, Kenji behind the plate, and Jared on the mound. See the numbers for Jared this year. Pretty good across the board.
He's kind of been the rock of the Seattle Mariners staff this year. Jared Washburn has, and fans still coming into the ballpark here this evening. We're going to have a fine crowd, probably around 35,000 or so. And don't forget that tomorrow night Edgar Martinez will be inducted into the Mariners Hall of Fame. And what an outstanding luncheon they had for him this afternoon here, attended by some 1,000 fans. As Kenny Lofton steps in, we're underway. The strike call by Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire. 76 delicious degrees. There's a line drive going to drop right in front of Ibanez into left field. So Lofton is aboard, and Michael Young will be the hitter. Texas really struggling. They've lost 8 of their last 9, and it's been mainly due to some shoddy pitching. And last night we saw an example of that. As a matter of fact, Vicente Padilla struggled so mightily in that first inning.
He really did, and you can see it up and down their staff tonight. Millwood's going to take the mound. He's been on the DL, had his own struggles, some of them health related. The other thing too is their defense has struggled this year, and that hasn't helped the guys on the mound either.
Just about straight up and down. They're playing Michael Young. Maybe a shade over toward the right of straightaway center is Ichiro, and that is high, so the count at a ball and a strike.
Saw Ron Washington in spring. He wanted to have the guys on the move a little bit more, and Kenny Lofton certainly qualifies for that still, even though he's 40 years old. He can still run.
And he's celebrating his 40th birthday yesterday. Look at that, 615 career steals. He's successful 80% of the time.
And that's the number you're looking for. 80% is pretty good.
Down low. Ball 3 balls and 1 strike. So Washburn coming out not really razor sharp with his control. That could come as quickly as he's trying to find it, though.
Right, exactly.
He might be sending Lofton here at 3-1, and they're not. And he walked it. So 2 on with nobody out here in the first inning, as the Rangers try to strike while the iron is hot in the first inning, and that's something they have rarely been able to do. They've been outscored 42-11 in the first inning this year.
Well, the Mariners have been doing that quite a bit lately, scoring in the first inning. They did again last night.
Breaking ball high to Teixeira.
It's actually surprising me a little bit. I don't know what the scouting reports were on the game plan. Jared's throwing a few changeups and breaking balls early. Usually he comes out firing that cutter inside to establish that pitch.
And there's a strike at the knees. You saw Mike Hargrove. Mike Hargrove will be with the ball club for only about half the game tonight. He is leaving to fly back to Cleveland for the graduation of his daughter Shelley tomorrow, and will miss tomorrow and Sunday and rejoin the ball club on Monday. One and two. And a line drive right back up the middle. A step on the bag now. They've got the runner between second and third tagged out. And how about that for a double play?
That's a great double play, really. First of all, for him to catch it, this ball was hit like a bullet. I think Jared was able to deflect it a little bit, but still, you'll see, catches it on an in-between hop. It's a tough pick right there. He steps on second base to get the first out, and then it's a tag play from there on out with Kenny. But so you're right, that was a heads-up play.
A 4 unassisted double play. And here comes Sammy Sosa. Sosa, 2 home runs away from joining the 600 club. He's got 598. And he's also should be an out. Drifting out there and finally giving way to Guillen is Lopez, and just like that, out of a jam is Jared Washburn, and we'll go to the bottom half of the first as Texas does not score, and they're still coming in, having fun out there by that sculptured glove. We'll be back in that more after this. The first inning, the Rangers do not score in the top half, and right now, let's look at the Mariners lineup.
Okay, they're going to face Kevin Millwood. You see the Rico scouting report on him. He's had some pretty good success against Seattle. Been on the DL a couple of times this year. That's been the biggest problem with a hamstring on the last time. Then the guys.
Ichiro stepping in, and what a May he had as we begin the new month. Already with 71 hits and a base hit here tonight. He is the all-time Mariner record holder, 4 consecutive game hitting streaks. He's tied Joey Cora. And a ground ball into left field for a base hit. He's got the record as Michael Young has it go off his glove. My, oh my, congratulations to Ichiro. A 25-game hitting streak, and it only took him, what, 30 seconds? To get it started.
Didn't take long at all. He wasn't going to mess around. We all know he's an aggressive hitter. You can see this swing right away. Hits it in the hole on the left side of the infield, and once it gets past the third baseman, no chance. Michael Young dives for it, but even if he comes up with it cleanly, he will not have a play on Ichiro. Nice field hit.
Standing ovation for Ichiro, as he now has a 25-game hitting streak. Interesting note about hitting streaks, and he just broke Joey Cora's hitting streak set back in 1997. There's a kid down at Double-A ball in the Yankee system. The fastball is high to Jose Vidro, who has a 37-game hitting streak. That's the longest in almost 20 years since Joey Cora hit in 37 games for Las Vegas at AAA ball.
That's a lot of hits, too.
Kid's name is Mitch Hillegas at AA ball in Charleston, South Carolina. The River Dogs. There goes Ichiro, the throw to second base. He is safe. Looked to me like the throw beat him, but Michael Young late with the tag.
He's not so sure. See Ichiro takes off. We'll see the throw come in. It's a pretty good throw right on the bag. I think he might have beat it.
Might have went around it.
Yeah, he sliced to the back corner of the bag. Look at that batting average. 417. 13 stolen bases over the course of the streak. Pretty good work.
Obviously did go around it. And Jose Vidro with the count 2-0, and that foul ball. 2-1. Ichiro tipping his cap, his batting helmet, acknowledging the kudos from the fans here tonight, and a very nice crowd on hand. And a ground ball to the shortstop. Michael Young will throw him out and gets his job done. Usually does not with a ball hit to the left side, but that ball hit slow enough so that Ichiro could make the advance from second to third.
You're absolutely right, Dave. Anytime in here, they're running on second base. If it's hit towards your right hand, you're supposed to stay. Left hand go. That was almost right at him, but because it wasn't hit hard, he was able to get over, and it's a productive out for Vidro.
So here's Jose Guillen, and look at this. They're bringing the infield up here with one man out in the first inning.
Very strange. Maybe Ron Washington's been looking at the stats as far as scoring in the first inning. He wants to keep that from happening.
And that's inside. Ball one. One ball and no strikes.
The club's had a tough time of it.
Strike. 1-1.
You look at the numbers, and you're talking about the Rangers last inning not being able to score in the first. Now scored 42-11, so I guess he's just going to try to keep the other team from doing it.
Breaking ball way outside. Millwood on the DL twice with a hamstring problem. First time injured at just shagging fly balls in the outfield. And that pitch is hit into center field. That'll get a run in as Laughlin is there to make the catch. Here comes Ichiro, and the Mariners lead it 1-0 on this sacrifice fly by Jose Vidro, by Jose Guillen, picking up his 30th RBI of the year.
Well, he had a really nice month of May driving in runs. You can see there's a breaking ball out over the plate. Hits it right on the barrel. Doesn't get a real good swing at it. Kenny Laughlin in center field does not throw well. No chance to get Ichiro on the play.
So an early 1-0 advantage for the Mariners, and Raul will be the hitter. A little high with that fastball at 92 miles an hour. Another sinker at 92.
Looks like he has pretty good movement on his fastball. One and two. I beg your pardon, make it 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. And a high fly ball hit into left center field. Marlon Byrd, no problem with that, but the Mariners again
do get first on the board. They pick up one, and after one, lead it 1-0. The house, too. On a beautiful day like this. A mama duck. It's a new duck. It must be spring. It must be the end of spring and summer around the corner, and indeed it is. Victor Diaz is the hitter to lead it off here in the second inning, and he fouls it back. Victor Diaz called up from Oklahoma City a month ago exactly on the 1st of May, and he was tearing the cover off the ball at AAA, hitting .356. Hitting .255 with the big ball club, and a count of the ball and a strike.
5 home runs and just 55 at bats. There's a little sock in there.
Fouled away. Mike, I know you live on a spread with horses and out in the country. And this particular time of the year, wonderful things must be happening out there.
It's unbelievable. Just everything grows and grows and grows, and I love it. Greener the better.
3 balls and 2 strikes to count. How many horses you get?
I have no idea, Dave. Let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the property.
And a base hit to left field, so Diaz is aboard.
It can change, though, any day.
You in the horse business?
I am not. My wife was for a little bit, but not anymore. They just enjoy them. I like to look at them. I don't like to get out there and jump on them or anything like that. That's not my deal. I'm fine just watching them. Beautiful animals, watching them run around.
Here's Marlon Byrd now with Victor Diaz at first base. And showing bunt and taking a strike on the outside corner. 0-1.
Looked like Adrian was up close enough, and I doubt that he was trying to sacrifice there.
Those seated in the upper deck are going to be treated in an hour and a half or so to, I'm sure, quite a magnificent sunset. As you can look off into the west here. 1-1 on Marlon Byrd. And a broken bat, little blooper into foul territory. He's going to drop on the track. The hot Baltimore Orioles, who have won 6 in a row, knocking off the Angels last night. And they're off and running again tonight down in Anaheim. They'll be here on Monday. They have an early 2-0 lead over the Halos. Meanwhile, Minnesota's in Oakland, and there's no score there in the first inning. Baltimore finally getting back to the even water mark, the 500 mark.
Miguel Tejada hitting a home run in the game today.
And that's hit down the right field line in trouble. Over to play it on a hop off the wall is Guillen. He got too close to the wall, and it comes back over in front of him. But it was going to be a double anyway. And just like that, the Texas Rangers have 2 in scoring position with nobody out.
Thought he had a beat on it at first, but it's slicing away from him, and then it ricochets off the wall. I think it would have been a double either way, and decides to go ahead and just throw it all the way in.
So Ian Kinsler, the scrappy little second baseman, is the hitter. The Mariners will concede the tying run. Playing back for an out here in the second inning. Breaking ball popped up, foul territory, and just barely back in there. Cleveland, who has been making life miserable for the Detroit Tigers, taking it the other way tonight as the Tigers are beating them in the 9th inning. 11-7 in Cleveland. Look out.
Well, they just made it a little bit more interesting. Johnny Peralta hit a 3-run homer.
Ooh-wee.
So it's 11-10 with a runner on second base.
That's a wild game in 2001 when the Mariners 116 games and blew a 12-run lead in Cleveland twice.
I do remember that.
Just for old time's sake, I went back and checked the Mariners record after 50 games in 2001 today. And this is after 50 games. This is number 51. That's down low and outside. 2-2. Want to guess?
It was 52 games?
50 games.
50 games even? I would say they were probably, let's call it 32-18.
3-2. 38-12.
It's a lot of fun. Boney throwing out the first pitch, and that was a big part of that.
Well, he sure was. Had his greatest year. Well, bases are loaded now with nobody down, and at least in the early going, Washburn is not really real sharp as the sacks are full. And he's got a guy up there who last night got the Texas Rangers right back in the ball game.
He's a guy that can hit a fastball. You see that one's centered in the middle of the plate. Should be an interesting matchup right here. No room to put him anywhere, and Jared likes to throw his fastball. If he tries to get on the hands of Laird.
And that's exactly what he tried to do, and he missed inside.
This is one of the very few times this year where we haven't seen Jared really sharp around the strike zone.
Washington's throwing 18 pitches here in the second inning, and he's got nobody out.
The stuff looks fine to me. Everything looks good. Just a little bit out of sorts. Trying to find the strike zone right
now. 2-1.
See that last pitch inside. That pitch actually starts on the plate, and the cutter, he'll run it in on your hand. So it's a pretty good piece of hitting by Laird to lay off of that.
Two. Around the horn, there's Victor Diaz at third base. Marlon Byrd down at second. And Ian Kinsler over at first with nobody out, and the Mariners with a 1-0 lead. We're in the second inning. And a high pop up, and over is Sexton, and he makes a catch on the track. Now a ground ball gets you out of it.
He was able to get out of trouble in the first. See if he can do it here. See this last pitch, the fastball away up in the zone, pops him up.
Matt Cada is the hitter, the little switch hitting third baseman. And you can see, been real efficient with the bases loaded, 4 for 7. And a ground ball, one hopper, hit right to third, stepping on the bag for the out, the second out, but he lost the double play, Adrian Beltre. The run comes in to score Victor Diaz to tie it at 1-1.
He flinches at this ball at the last second like he lost it or something. You can see his head. Yeah, he turns his head away. Stays with it. Designs to throw it across. Good idea not to. I don't think he would have been able to get Cato on that.
So a 1-1 tie. And Lofton will be the hitter. And he throws to first just in time. And that's quite a scramble by Jared Washburn with the bases loaded, nobody out. He gives up at the 1 run. We're tied at 1. It's a record in the first inning, leading it off. Here it was, a shot right off the glove of Michael Young into left field. Now has hit in 25 consecutive games as we go to the bottom half of the second, tied at 1-1. Richie Sexton, the hitter, and sends a towering high fly ball to deep center field, but the yard's going to hold it as Lofton drifts onto the warning track out there. He just missed that ball.
He's been swinging the bat great lately. Getting closer and closer to it. He's going to get on one of those runs where he hits a bunch of home runs. It's typically the way it goes. A little frustrated there, I'm sure.
Kenji Jojima has had success against Millwood. Got a home run against him, hitting .366 against him. Strike on the outside corner. And barely on the outside corner, according to Joe's tracer. Whoops. Hensler almost lost his balance out there at second base. 2 away. Friday, June the 22nd. Ken Griffey Jr. going to be back here at Safeco Field with the Reds in an interleague matchup. That night's going to feature a special pregame celebration of what Junior has meant to this franchise. Seats are available at Mariners.com for what is sure to be a very memorable evening. Adrian Beltre talked about being on fire. Strike on the outside corner. His last 7 games, he's 15 for 28.
Well, he has his average all the way up to 280 now. With some damage, he leads the club in home runs with 9. .14 doubles.
And over there to move 3 or 4 steps to his right, Michael Young has it and throws him out. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Mariners here in the second. To the third, tied at 1. Out there by Green Lake. How are you? This is a day you love, Clyde, isn't it? Out there just floating around. Time for our Aflac trivia question. Who did Lou Gehrig replace on this date in 1925 to begin his consecutive game streak? Who did he replace? Outside. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. You know that?
I think so.
And a line drive base hit to center field, so Michael Young is right on it. Gehrig, 2,130 games later, would sit down.
Wally Pipp.
You got it. You got it. Mark Teixeira. Now the hitter. And that ball is hit hard, going back and trying to get it, and unable to as Ibanez. Scooting down to third base is Michael Young, and into second with a stand-up double is Mark Teixeira. So the Texas Rangers keep applying the pressure early.
See, Teixeira jumps on a fastball and just hits a rope out to left field. Roll looked like he might have had a beat on it, but just got by him. He couldn't reach it. That's just a screaming line drive.
And Sammy Sosa will be the hitter.
Do you know who Cal Ripken replaced?
Yes, but I can't remember his name, which means no.
Was it Belanger?
I don't think it was Belanger. Cal Ripken replaced a third baseman.
Okay.
Before he went to shortstop. Sammy takes way down low and inside. Ball one. 1 ball and no strikes.
Infield to play back. Concede the run.
And nubbed up the first baseline. That's a fair ball. And the throw to first base just in time. Runners have to hold. Good play by Jared Washburn.
See, Jared takes a little bit off. Sammy hits it right off the end of the bat. It's actually a pretty good play by Jared, because you'll see as he throws, he has to miss Sammy. It's nice to have a big target like Richie over there.
Ripken may have replaced Len Sakata.
I think you're right.
Look at that. Number 575 for Junior in the bottom half of the 6th inning, as the Reds lead the Rockies 4-0. Nice little video message from Junior today for Edgar at his luncheon here this afternoon. Victor Diaz had the base hit leading off last inning. And pops it up. That'll probably get the go-ahead run in as Guillen comes in and makes the catch. He's got a great arm, but he's not even going to try to get him at the plate. So a sacrifice fly by Diaz. And it's a 2-1 advantage now for the Texas Rangers. The Indians score 5 runs in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And you don't want to be around Jim Leyland tonight. Nor do I think you want to be around Lou Piniella tonight.
I know that's a fact, and I'll take your word for it with Leyland. Todd Jones gave it up in that game.
So the Cleveland Indians had their lead in the Central Division to 4.5 over the Detroit Tigers. And a shot right back up the middle into center field. So here comes Teixeira around third. And the throw by Ichiro to the plate is late. The ball hits the runner. And around second holding is Marlon Byrd. And it's 3-1. Single RBI. And Byrd goes to second base on the throw. Teixeira was hit in the head with that throw. And I hope he's all right.
See, Ichiro charges the ball hard, makes a strong throw to the plate. Right about the time he gets to, you see Teixeira coming in. Oh, catches him right above his eye, it looked like.
Right on the left side of the head.
Yeah.
So it's 3-1. And Ian Kinsler, the hitter now. One and 0.
They've hit some balls hard off of Jared this inning. A double by Teixeira. That base hit up the middle was smoked.
2-0.
Change up.
Down low, 3 balls and no strikes. The Houston Astros, and I bring this up only because they've been struggling so mightily, are trailing the Cardinals 3-1 in the 9th inning. The Astros have lost 9 of their last 10 ball games. Phil Garner might be on a hot seat down there, swinging a foul back. We will be playing Houston during interleague play, and Houston this month.
Milwaukee wins today, and they went on a little run. Not quite that bad, but they had such a big lead, and then they started losing some ball games.
3-1. You saw that Arizona score, perhaps on top of that Houston score, and the D-backs have been red hot. They beat the Mets 5-1, and they have won 8 in a row. Full count on Kinsler. Lost him. 3rd walk. Look at this. Carlos Zambrano has the ball go off the catcher Barrett, and it goes as a pass ball. And Barrett says, "You crossed me up." And they go at it in the dugout. And that was just the beginning of it. It went on down to the tunnel leading back to the Chicago Cubs clubhouse. And the Chicago Cubs, losing again, now have lost 5 in a row. And that had to be broken up.
Well, Zambrano's had his struggles this year. Everybody was talking about him being a free agent at the end of the year and probably the top of the class, but he's had his struggles. You can see some frustration there.
Atlanta beat him today. A lot of frustration on the north side of Chicago. 2 out, 2 on, and 2 in. And Gerald Laird, the hitter. Doesn't have that good snap on his breaking ball here tonight.
Doesn't seem to have a feel for it, Dave. You know, it's just, it looks like he's just trying to throw it over there for a strike. And like you said, he usually throws everything with really good arm action on it. We're not really seeing that out of him tonight. And I think it's just a matter of just, I mean, I don't remember him having this much trouble throwing strikes. 51 pitches. It's 24 balls and 27 strikes. He's usually 2-1.
Right.
Pounding the strike zone. That just hasn't been the case tonight.
Fastball count. And a fastball. Take a look at the Dodge pitch count, and you can see how it's beginning to mount up on him now here in the 3rd.
Rangers have had their troubles hitting lefties. They're only hitting .255 for the year against them. But they're definitely a much better hitting club when they're ahead in the count.
Well, he's all over that one, too.
You know, as a ball club, the Rangers right now, they can tell that he's struggling with his breaking ball and his changeup. So they almost eliminate those pitches when they go to the plate. It makes them much more dangerous.
And a little dunker into left center field. Going to pick up another run as Marlon Byrd's going to score. The throw to the plate. And the ball dropped up the third baseline by Jojima. So it's now a 4-1 lead.
Kind of try to backdoor him a little bit. Reaches out and just flips it into center field. You can see he's fooled on the pitch out in front of it. And then this throw ends up the line. Kenji actually makes a pretty good play to catch this before he drops it.
And Matt Keita is the 8th Ranger to come to the plate here in third. There's a pretty good fastball right there at the knees. One around, fooled on that one. That was way out of the strike zone. And Sean White getting up, starting to throw here in the third inning.
He's trying to climb the ladder and maybe going to swing and miss, but Keita's hanging in there. The Rangers offensively as a club, hitting wise, average wise, they're 13th in the league, and they've already have 7 hits here in the third inning. They basically do their scoring on hitting home runs.
One and two.
See Joe's tracer. Jerry gets a strike early in the count, then just starts climbing the ladder on, trying to get higher and higher, and finally Keita takes a pitch up there.
Way outside, 2-2.
I have to say that Jared's been pretty good the first 2 months this year. Bound to happen to everybody. We saw Felix the other day give up a couple of home runs and give up some runs. That's going to happen. And Jared actually, with all these base runners, if he can get out of this inning, he's still be in pretty good shape.
And he should get out of the inning right here as Jojima drifts back with the mask off and makes the catch to retire the side. However, 3 on the board for the Texas Rangers here in the third, and they lead it 4-1. As we get set to go into the bottom half of the third, there are your friends out there shaking their feathers. Why don't you join them, Clyde? The answer to our Aflac trivia question: who did Lou Gehrig replace? We were wrong. Pee Wee Waninger. Waninger was pinch hit for by Gehrig, and then Wally Pipp showed up the next day with a headache and was replaced by Lou in game 2 of the streak. On 1 the count to Yuniesky Betancourt, riding the crest of a career tying 12 games. And a grab ball to the shortstop, and Michael Young will throw him out.
So all these years in major league dugouts, everybody always saying don't get Wally pipped. They were wrong. Should have been Pee Wee.
There's Alvin Davis. Who did Alvin Davis replace? Remember? Hit a home run in his first game. A Mariner Hall of Famer. Kenny Phelps.
Kenny Phelps.
Digger Phelps. 1984 went on to become the American League Rookie of the Year. A strike on the outside corner. On 1. Good to see AD. What a class man. And there's a bullet into left field by Jose Lopez. And for the Mariners, only their second hit. 10 one-hit games, 15 two-hit games, 2 3-hit games, and that 1 5-hit game in the 25-game streak of Ichiro Suzuki.
Well, at the rate the Mariners have scored runs lately over the last few weeks, there's no reason to give up on this ball game yet. If Jared hopefully can get settled in, he still has an opportunity to win this game.
And a double play ball. Can they turn it fast enough? Not that way. Not with Kinsler bobbling it. And it was problematic if he plays it clean that they could have turned a double play on Ichiro. 2 down.
Yeah, I don't think they would have had Ichiro on that if they filled it cleanly.
Jose Vidro was out here today throwing batting practice to his young son. I'm going to just guess he was 10, 11, 12 years of age and left-handed batter. Nice stroke.
Hands high up above his head.
And that's laced down the left field line. Going to go for extra bases, one would think. Ichiro steaming into third base. Vidro headed to second. He'll make it standing up. And now the Mariners looking for some magic from Jose Guillen with 2 down.
Well, this is a really good play by Bird. I thought maybe if he doesn't come up with it cleanly that Ichiro would have a chance to score, even though it's down the left field line. But look at this play, sliding play. Nice play, gets it in a hurry. Nicely done.
Well, the last 8 games, the Mariners are hitting .489 with men in scoring position. Got 2 ducks on the pond out there in scoring position. I beg your pardon, Clyde. Check swing, he went around. That got him. So that got him. He's on his way down to first base. Jose Guillen has been hit 8 times this year. That's by far the most on the Mariner ball club, and he is hurt.
Yeah, they got him pretty good on his arm.
Stands right on top of the plate.
When you get hit, sometimes you see he never flinches on breaking balls, and he'll just take the fastball in there. But that one's going to hurt.
He's a tough kid. On his way down to first base, and Raul Ibanez will be the hitter when and if Guillen is going to be all right. He's kind of had a target on his back this year, or on his side, or arms, or whatever. But he's right on top of the plate.
Well, he is, but the other thing I think what makes it difficult for him to get out of the way is we've seen it already. He hits the ball hard to right center field, so he actually stays in there pretty good, and he'll dive into pitches sometimes. You can take a look at his swing and his approach. This one hits him right on the elbow. Hits him on the back elbow. But most hitters that hit the ball the other way do that. You end up getting hit. We're talking about what they've done lately with men in scoring position as a club. They're almost hitting 300, 297 as a club. They've got 4 guys hitting 400 or better in this situation. Betancourt is one, Ichiro, of course, the other. Now this man, Raul Ibanez, is another one.
Rob Nodine, the assistant trainer of the Mariners in his first year out there. And Raul Ibanez now with a chance to do some big damage. Inside. Ball one ball and no strikes. Ibanez a fly ball to left field.
See what he's done with the bases loaded. Pretty good.
3 grand slams. 2-0.
He's in the driver's seat now. Millwood has a lead. Bases are loaded. You can see what his career mark is with the bases loaded. He's given up 6 of them. Feel like he has to come at Raul.
And that's on the outside corner. That's one of the, speaking of giving up grand slams, Jim Palmer never gave up a grand slam home run in his career. That's amazing.
That is amazing. Especially with all the years that he pitched. And no guys have scored runs off of him, so you would think the opportunities would have been there.
And a ground ball toward the hole, and that's through into right field for a base hit. So Ichiro's going to score. Right behind him, Vigro, the throw to the plate, not in time. And down to third base goes Jose Guillen. And the Mariners right back in it as Ibanez comes through with a 2 RBI single.
Well, he's ahead in the count. He still feels like he's going to get a fastball, which he does, but Millwood has a pretty good sinker. Raul pulls this into the hole. Cicada can't get to it. Nice try by Kinsler just to try to keep it in the infield. Drives in a couple of runs.
So it's 4-3, and Mark Connor on his way out to the mound to talk to Kevin Millwood.
And over this stretch that the Mariners on, that's another base hit with men in scoring position.
Richie Sexton sent Lofton right back to the warning track, dead center field, to pull down his drive in the second. Low. Ball one ball and no strike. Baltimore continuing to lead the Angels 2-0 in the 4th inning. Bottom half of the 4th in Anaheim. Minnesota 1-0 over Oakland in the 3rd. Too far outside. Richie out of play this time, back behind home plate.
Millwood's still in pretty good shape on his pitch count. He's fine at 37 here in the 3rd.
Richie, a line drive that is foul, broke his bat.
Well, he started him off pitching him away, and the last 2 pitches have been in on Richie. See what he wants to do now. Millwood gets himself back into the count. See, that last one was off the plate.
Breaking ball on the ground ball back up the middle into center field. We got a tie ball game as Jose Guillen comes in to score. Scooting on around to third is Raul Ibanez, and Richie Sexton comes through with another clutch 2-out base hit and an RBI at that to run his total of 33.
Well, earlier in the year he couldn't get a ground ball to go through for anything, and now they're starting to find holes for him. You can see this one shot right back up the middle. Mariners now 2 for 3 with men in scoring position, and Richie picks up another RBI.
So here's Joe. Ground ball to second. His first at bat. Blown away. Breaking ball that time.
Well, the two-seamers Millwood's been throwing inside you guys. I think that's built in for Kenji. He likes it in there.
Too high.
Missed on a breaking ball.
Washburn watching his teammates get him right back into this, and this has popped up into shallow right field. And Victor Diaz will make the catch to retire the side, but the Mariners get 3 to get even in the ball game as we go to the 4th. Dave Sims with you, a 4-4 tie.
Mike Blowers, and one thing you can say about the Mariner hitting attack of late, it has been flat out relentless.
It really has been. They've done such a fantastic job of guys in scoring position and picking their runners up lately. It's been really awesome. I mean, going into the day, they were just under 300, and now 2 for 4 in the ball game. They might have it right there at about 300 at this point.
Just with the doctor order, too, because Jared Washburn, generally a very sharp pitcher, a guy who's only walked 3 batters in a game once earlier. That was a season opener, his season opener. He's walked 3 today and been burned for it. 3 runs in the 3rd, but nice job by the Mariners to answer right back. Kenny Lofton, that one hits off of Washburn, stays with it, throws him out. Looking ahead, next couple of days, Cameron Lowe against Miguel Batista. Both of those guys, you see those opponents' batting averages, they've been hit pretty hard. And then Tejada against Fearbin. Fearbin making his 2nd start since being called up. Brought to you by Comcast. As we continue here in the 4th inning, Mark Teixeira had to leave the game on that play at the plate. The ball hit him under his left eye, and he's got a slight concussion. That's a big piece out of the Texas attack as we look at Mark Young. Teixeira, 295 hitter, had a run scored and a base hit today. Change up to Young. 1-1 the count.
And has some serious pop in his bat, and that's the way the Rangers score typically, is by hitting the home run. So one of their biggest home run hitters is out of the lineup right now.
Breaking ball to Young, fouled away. Jared Washburn, a record of 5-4, 3.22 ERA. Michael Young has swung the bat very well coming into tonight. The last 10 games, 16 for 42. He's 1 for 1 with a walk tonight. And here's another base hit. Ichiro tracking it down. Young with a good head of steam. He's going to dig for 2 and make it easy. So Michael Young with his 18th double. He's 2 for 2 with a walk.
Just a matter of time before he's going to get his hits. April was a tough month for Young. Ichiro does a nice job of tracking it down, like you said, Dave. Otherwise, he's going to get a triple easy on that ball.
So 1 out. Michael Young at second base, and Ramon Vasquez, he took the place of Mark Teixeira. One out here in the top of the 4th. Breaking balls in there for strike. You seen anything in particular that Wash is not doing that has taken away from his usual sharpness?
It's hard to tell. I think that for him, you know, he's so aggressive all the time. Sometimes you just have those days where you're just not able to locate, and he's been so good for the first 2 months of this season. It might just be one of those nights for whatever reason. I don't think his breaking ball has been particularly sharp tonight.
Missed with that breaking ball. 2-0.
Starting to get a little bit better, but The one thing that we've seen out of him is how aggressive he is with his fastball, and he just hasn't been able to locate. And he'll be the first to tell you that he needs to locate his fastball to be successful.
Vasquez spent part of the 0-1 season right here in Seattle. One hopper to Lopez, keeps it in front, bobbled, and everybody's safe. Quick call by the official score. Error, second baseman, just the second all season for Lopez.
See, it's hit well right in front of him. He does a pretty good job of keeping it in front of him, and then he misses it trying to pick it up. Actually kicks it a little bit off his foot. Trying to find the runner, see how much time he had.
Well, here's Sammy Sosa. Washburn could surely use a double play ball right here. Sosa 0 for 2 tonight, 1 for 5 last night. And the season high, struck out a bunch. Struck out 4 times last night. Chow Sung Beck, who pitched beautifully last night, he got Sammy a couple of times. Ball 1 to Sosa.
Last night Beck threw him change-ups and breaking balls for the most part and had success with that. And Jared on his last AB, Sammy's last at bat, got him out on a changeup that he cued off the end of the bat, and the first pitch to him here is a changeup.
Took a lot off of that one. 1-1 to Sammy Sosa.
The fastballs that they've been throwing him have either been up out of the zone or way inside just to show it to him, I think, and then they're going back to the soft stuff.
Sammy sitting at 598 career home runs. Belongs to a very exclusive club. Backs him off.
There's the fastball in. That's what he's trying to do.
Aaron Bonds, Ruth Mason, Sosa, top 5 all time in home runs. 2-1 from Washburn. The count runs at 3-1 to Sammy Sosa. Runners at the corners here for the Rangers. Michael Young at third. Vasquez at first. Pulled the string on him again. 3-2.
He threw a change up the previous pitch, and then he just goes a little bit slower. 72 miles an hour.
Sosa struck out 49 times coming into tonight's game. Hit it in the air. Backing up is Ichiro. Still tracking. And he's got it. Young will tag, score easily. And the Rangers regain the lead at 5-4 on the sac fly by Sammy Sosa, his 40th RBI.
So with Sammy, they throw one fastball, which was inside. I think it's been a great plan against him because he's looked like he can't sit back, like he's not going to get off of the fastball. The only reason why I was able to hit that last pitch is because it was up a little bit. If Jared locates it, he might get him on the ground and do what you were talking about and get a double play and get out of there.
Betancourt can't reach that one. Base hit, Victor Diaz. Diaz having a pretty good night. 2 for 2. A run scored and an RBI. This Sunday, like every Sunday, fans age 60 or older can purchase View Reserve tickets for just $10. It's a saving of almost 45% off the regular price. For tickets to this Sunday's matchup with these AL West rival Rangers, call 206-622-HITS. 206-622-HITS. Do it today. I think this is the most mound conversations we've seen with Jared Washburn all season.
Well, it's
John White getting warmed up.
It's that, and his pitch count's up to 77, so he's had to work hard in every single inning tonight. We haven't seen that from Jared either. Usually he's pretty good with his pitch count and working a little bit deeper in the game, but if you're struggling with your command, which is going to happen to everybody, that pitch count can get up in a hurry on you.
Well, given the Texas ERA, which is next to last, and given the way the Mariners are swinging the bat, we could be in for one of those 12-11 jobs like Cleveland beat Detroit tonight.
Yeah, the Mariners, they've been averaging 8 runs, so they have a few more to get.
Marlon Byrd base hit center field in third and later scored. One and one to Marlon. One pitch. Fastball fouled away. Got somebody along the rail at the Ranger dugout. Marlon Byrd, his previous 2 games was 0 for 7. Tonight he's banged out 2 hits. Washburn trying to shut him down here. 1-2 pitch. Little dribbler hit off his foot.
You see that quite a bit when Jared's on the mound because of the cutter he throws inside. Guys will beat him off their legs. See where this gets him. Ooh,
Off the knee. Goodness gracious. You just see one like that 2 nights ago, right?
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2 to Byrd with 2 outs, 2 on. Missed away.
He had him set up for that pitch too.
Deuces are truly wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 22 is up. Every Ranger but Sosa's reached base by a hit, walk, or fielder's choice tonight. Up high. 3-2. Washburn has already walked 3. That ties the season high. It goes back to his first appearance on the 3rd of April against Oakland. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Runners take off, and he missed inside. Bases are loaded. And that's going to do it for Jared Washburn. Take a timeout. Tell you about the pitching change. Sean White coming on. 5-4 Texas, top 4. Green Lake, where a lot of fans got out and had some fun. Youngster going in for a little dunk. And why not? The sun worshipers getting their time in as well. New pitcher is Sean White. As we check out our Nissan, shift to the bullpen. Jared Washburn, 3 2/3, 5 runs, 9 hits, 4 walks, no strikeouts in his 84 pitches. And Sean White, who's has done a nice job as a long guy this year. He comes in and he faces Ian Kinsler. Strike 1 to Kinsler. White had his first loss in his last outing on the 24th against Tampa Bay. 1-1 to Kinsler, who's walked twice this evening. 10 home run guy, 9 in April. Two and 1. Bases are loaded. Texas with a run in the second, 3 in the third. There are your runners. Vasquez, Diaz, and Byrd. Now the count runs to 3-1.
It was a first pitch strike and 3 straight balls.
On deck, Gerald Laird. RBI base hit his last time up. 3-run homer last night. Fastball's in there and fouled off. 3-2. Long inning here for the Rangers. Taking the lead. Breaking ball hit foul. Pretty decent speed in Marlon Byrd. He was already at second as the runners were moving on that 3-2 pitch. Sean White could use a punch out right here. Rip foul again.
Well, the good news, most of the time when runners are moving around, it gets the infielders moving with them, but with 3 2 count, 2 outs. They're going to hold their positions, and John has a pretty good sinker, so he's probably going to get a ground ball out of Kinsler. Infielders have an opportunity to field it.
Tried again, 3-2 pitch. A bouncer to Beltre. But caught in between, but he throws out Kinsler. Inning over, just 1 run, 3 stranded. As Washburn's night is done, Rangers regain the lead at 5-4. Boone. A lot of there's Dave Niehaus, Jay Buhner. A lot of the guys in town today and this weekend to honor the greatest DH of them all, Edgar Martinez. And tomorrow night, he'll be inducted into the Mariners Hall of Fame. And we'll have complete coverage for you right here on FSN. And that starts at 6. Beltre, 2-hopper to Young. Hayes reached base. So that'll be an E6 on the shortstop, Michael Young, his 8th error of the season. And he pulls
a throw, yeah.
Sure did. He pulled Matt Cain off the bat. Here's your schedule for tomorrow as we celebrate Edgar Martinez. Starts at 5 o'clock. Before the bigs, In My Own Words, Mariners Live, and then the game at 7 o'clock. Come on out, folks. Admired Edgar Martinez from afar for a long time. You folks here in Seattle have had a pleasure of seeing him during his career. Terrific gentleman, great sportsman, and humanitarian on top of being a heck of a hitter.
There's a conversation you and I have not had yet with all the plane flying that we've been doing lately, but we have not talked about.
What's that?
Whether you think the designated hitter has a spot in the Hall of Fame.
I'm going to say yes, and I'm not saying that because I'm now employed by the Seattle Mariners, but I think it should be. I mean, that's a valuable piece to your ball club, particularly a guy. Look out, Uni. 1-1. I think he should be. His numbers are outstanding.
Wow, he's the best DH of all time in my mind. And
I mean, they named an award after him.
Right. I can see them having an argument when they first came up with the position, maybe, but it's been in the American League the entire time for years, and I think it's been around long enough to where it should be recognized, just like closers should be. You know, you have guys that are out there and they're closing ball games, and you know, for a while there, nobody would look at them and give them the credit for the job that they do.
Beltre goes, hit and run. Young will have 1 play. And he throws out Betancourt. 1 out here in the 4th. Second time tonight, Betancourt's grounded out to Michael Young. Now, I mean, and again, as me coming in from the outside,
right? I
mean, Edgar Martinez is like, especially if there's somebody on base. Oh, brother. And as we saw in the testimonials today, I mean, Joe Torre led it off and finished it off. And one of the things he talked about was a guy that owned Mariano Rivera.
Right. You know, you talk about Edgar, and we heard a lot of nice things that have been said today when we were watching the video of him, the highlights of him hitting and doing all those different things. And I thought about
long drive, left field, hooking foul off the bat of Jose Lopez.
As he was, and then he was up speaking and talking about his teammates and that kind of thing. So I started thinking about some of his teammates. Some of them you saw today. You know, some great ones in Alex and of course Junior and Jay, Tino. Just some tremendous. Brett Boone. Tremendous players that he played with, and all those guys are all stars in the whole bit. But for me, through the course of everything that's happened here and all the good times, Edgar was the anchor to that lineup. You know what I mean? You have the stars and the guy that have the flair and thing, and Eric's just, Edgar would go out and he was the anchor of that thing. Just, I like to say, quietly consistent.
I think anybody who played with and against him and watched him play would be totally on board with what you just said. 0-2 to Lopez, breaking ball, he stays alive, a little tapper. I mean, how many big spots did he come up with? I know just from watching back from the East Coast, I didn't see all of his games, but I saw enough. And you'd watch highlights the next morning. There's Edgar Martinez, second and third base hit. It's not like he was such a mad scientist when it comes to hitting. Some of the anecdotes the guys were talking about. Breaking ball, that's smacked into left field. Base hit by Lopez. Runners at the corners. 1 out here in the 4th for the Mariners. Down 5-4. 2 for 2 for Lopey tonight.
Well, you heard the guys talking about the scale that he had in his locker, and it got me on that thing. I started hanging my bats from that scale and putting them in the cups and setting them up there.
Time now for a U.S. Marine Corps honor roll. How about Ichiro? Club record 25-game hit streak. New standard for the Seattle Mariners. And he got it done in his first at-bat on an 0-1 pitch. Here's Ichiro with a chance to tie it up. 1 out. Beltre on third. He reached on an E6, moved up on an infield out, singled over to third. Ichiro 1 for 2, 2 runs scored against Kevin Millwood tonight. The tear he's been on is just incredible. And there for strike at 1-1. I totally felt like an interloper today being on the dais with you guys. It felt like it was an Ocean's 13 caper and all the boys were back for a new outing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to see the guys. Some of them I haven't seen in a while. I haven't seen Bone in a while. I didn't see Danny, and both those guys did a great job. They had to speak today, and they did a great job. It was good to see them.
Dan had some beautifully prepared words, and Jay Buhner went off the cuff, and they are both right on point. 2-1 Ichiro. That'll do it. Lofton doesn't throw it so well. That's a base hit. It drops in. So Ichiro with an RBI scores, tied at 5. Ichiro's 25th RBI. Hitting just keeps on going.
Well, he doesn't hit it hard, jams him a little bit, but he hits it in the right spot again, falls in front of Lofton. Nice read by Lopez. Get down to second base on that.
Talked to Kevin Millwood yesterday for radio pregame show. And said, just my luck. I'm coming off the DL for the second time. And who do I get to face? The Mariners. I think they know me a little bit. He's 6-4. 1-1 this year against the club. So I got to figure out a new way to pitch to these guys. I know them, they know me. This is getting a little crazy.
Another one of the things I don't like about the scheduling.
The frequency with
just
which
play, yeah. The guys in the West. It's nice for them to be playing at the end of the year, I think, because it gives you an opportunity. But they play each other so much during the course of the season.
It sounds like we're going to get into that get rid of the interleague play thing. Did you like it when when the cities went outside of your division twice?
Yeah.
Inside the Vidro.
Yeah. Do you mean to go to Boston twice a year, New York twice a year, that kind of thing? Yeah. I like that.
Jose Vidro got a double to left back in the third, scored a run. He's 1 for 2. 5-5 ball game. Well, if you're into numbers, both teams are on a 1-3-1 pattern. Rangers scored 1, then 3, then 1. Right now the Mariners 1-3-1. There you go. So the lucky number tonight. Probably still enough time to go play it. 2-2 to Vidro. Breaking ball hit on the ground to the second baseman Kinsler.
Whoops.
And 2 down.
Well, he thought there were already 2 down.
Yeah. There's a break for the M's. Now second and third. See how Guillen swings the bat. Got hit on the right elbow last time up. Took a while to walk it off. Been hit more than any Mariner. That was the 8th time they've been hit this year. Strike 1 to Jose. Sacrifice fly in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, scored in that third inning. Mariners put up 3 runs on 4 hits. Millwood backs off. Jose has not had a lot of success against Millwood. Started the night 1 for 12 career.
Well, Millwood, when he's right, throws hard with a pretty good slider. Pretty good sink to his fastball. I don't think it's unusual. Right-handers struggling a little bit against him, although he's had his problems this year, that's for sure.
Millwood's won 125 games in his career. This is career appearance number 300.
Can't quite get on the same page with Laird, so he's going to go out and talk to him about it.
I have not seen the video, but your former MGR's club, the Lou Piniella and the Chicago Cubs, little fracas with Michael Barrett and Zambrano, pitcher and catcher, got after it. They got after it hard in an 8-5 Cub loss to the Braves.
We haven't seen Lou yet, but that'll be coming up. We saw a little bit of the little scuffle in the dugout.
1-1 to Guillen. Well hit, base hit left field. One run's going to score. Here comes Ichiro. The throw to the plate will be not in time. 2-run single. Jose Guillen gives them 3 on the night. Mariners regain the lead at 7-5.
Kind of things that'll get the manager's attention, and you can see this pitch is right in the middle of the plate. They rips it into left field, drive in a couple of runs, and the hit parade continues for the Mariners, and now they have 7 runs on the board. They've been averaging 8, so I guess they have room for another one.
Plenty of time to get back into double figures too in the hit column. 12 of the last 15 games double dip. Man, that's just extraordinary. Ron Washington, Gary Pettis, they just got to bear through this one. My new favorite stat, the Rispies. Runners in scoring position. Goodness gracious, look at that. 5 for 8. Raul fouls one back. Raul knocked in 2 with a base hit to right his last time up. 1 for 2. Well, if the Mariners are going to get on a run, this is certainly the time to do it. Popped out of play.
I don't know who's going to talk to Kinsler about forgetting about how many outs there were. I'm sure Millwood isn't happy about it. Double play would have gotten him out of the inning. Can't assume the double play, so you can go ahead and chalk those up as earned.
Well, he's beating himself up right now. Ron Washington not real pleased either.
Well, maybe not. There's an error on the shortstop.
Throw down.
Well, that's the biggest thing. You're trying to change things and you're trying to move things around as an organization. You have a new manager in there. You know, those types of details are something that, especially since it's a young player in Kinsler, they'll get his attention and maybe make an example out of him at some point. You and I have talked to Ron Washington enough to know that he's not afraid to go talk to those guys and let him know how he feels.
1-2 to Ibanez. Struck him out, but the inning proved to be productive for the Mariners as they put up 3 more runs and regain the lead at 7-5. I think Mike Hargrove, well, he'll leave with a smile on his face with the ball club taking the lead. He's going to see his youngest daughter graduate from high school, and we'll see him again on Monday. Congratulations to the Hargrove family. Gerald Laird, Matt Cata, Kenny Lofton here in the 5th against Sean White.
So Hargrove hands McLaren the card and says, I gave you a lead. Don't mess it up. See you later.
Jared Washburn's off the hook, too.
He was supposed to leave 10 minutes ago. He just waited to get a few more runs.
Can't say that I blame him. Although Sean White now 3-0, way behind Gerald Laird. White came on in the 4th. Retired Kinsler on the ground out to get out of trouble. 1 run and 2 hits in that inning. Now a 4-pitch walk. Fifth time the Rangers have hit a reach via the walk.
That's something you don't want to see after your club scores you some runs.
Well, here's Matt Cada. An RBI fielder's choice. Fouled out to Kenji Jogi. Sean having a hard time finding it right now. Ball one.
Nobody moving in the bullpen yet.
It's our Arthur Rhodes. Arthur's out in the bullpen. He came in to hang out with the fellas. Coming back from Tommy John surgery. Going through. There's Arthur.
How's he doing?
Doing well. You know, rehabbing. He's going to rehab, be here for a few days, rehab every day here, and then he goes home to Baltimore and work there. And he fully plans on coming back at full strength. I said, "You're going to develop a new pitch." He looked at me cross-eyed. No. I'm coming back with my usual stuff. Thank you very much. One and one to Matt Cada.
Tommy John surgery is.
It's unreal, right?
Box.
Sure it did. Yeah, good call.
He's having a tough time. See if he steps off.
Oh yeah, that front knee buckled. He knew it too.
But Tommy John surgery now is so good. You can expect to come back. And, you know, years ago you were done with those kinds of injuries, and now these guys come back. Some of them come back throwing harder than before.
Isn't that amazing?
Tighten the rubber bands up a little bit, and you're in good shape.
He showed off the scar proudly. Took the tendon out of the wrist there. He moved it back on the elbow. Let's go to work. But he enjoyed chewing the fat with the fellas around the batting cage. He was all over Ben Broussard. Come on, Shelby, hit that Budweiser sign up there. And now Cada gets hit. Something in the air tonight?
Well, the Rangers, you can see, I think it was a breaking ball even. Yeah, it sure was. Hit him with a curveball. The Rangers are a club. We talked about it. Hitting just over 240 as a team, 13th in the average. And one of the things you don't want to do is help them out with base on balls and hitting guys and making errors and that kind of thing, because they can't hit home runs. They're #1 in home runs. And Sean's definitely struggling tonight.
Betancourt holding the runner Laird close. 12 runs, 17 hits, and 2 errors in this game. These two teams have combined for. Kenny shows bunt. Got the bat back in time. Ball one. Lofton 0 for 4 yesterday. Struck out twice. 1 for 3 today.
Used to hate this as an infielder. Guy shows bunt on the first pitch and he gets a ball, and now you're not sure what he's going to do, and yet you're going to charge in there.
Yeah.
Managers sometimes switch it up and let him swing.
Yeah, hey kid, see that cannon there? It's about to unload. I want you to go run right at it.
It can be scary if you're playing the corners like Richie and Adrian are. Main thing for Sean right now is he has to throw strikes, which he did right there. That's good. If he wants to bunt, take the out.
Well, we're top of the 5th inning. This game has, it's like first team to about 14 to win written all over it. Here's the 1-1. Good bunt. White will throw. Safe. Lope did a heck of a job to keep it in the infield. Bases are loaded. A sacrifice and an E1.
As he throws it high, Kenny Lofton still runs well.
But the bases are loaded, nobody out. And a terrific hitter, Michael Young, coming up. Young 2 for 2 with a walk, 2 runs scored. Base hit to center, double to right.
Let's see if maybe they can get him, throw a good sinker up there and get a double play ball. They'll give up a run, but more importantly, they'll get the 2 outs that they need. Aaron was up by 2 runs.
Stirring in the bullpen. Nobody throwing yet. A lot of guys doing stretching exercises. Time to stay ready. All right, so they've changed Kenny Lofton. He'll be happy. Base hit. Bases loaded. Michael Young. Nobody out. Swing and a miss. Two career grand slams for Mr. Young. Fouled right side, and that will get out of play.
I think the Rangers manager Ron Washington had to pick one guy to send up in this situation. This would be the guy. It's 200 hits a year, and I know that he's hitting 260 right now, but he had such a tough April. He's had to hit a lot to get it to there.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's the way, 1 and 2, and he's the guy with the juice right now, with Mark Teixeira out with a partial concussion. Suffered earlier in the game when he scored back in third. Throw for the outfield, hit him above just below the left eye. Here's the 1-2 to Young. Breaking ball misses. 2-2. On deck is Ramon Vasquez and Sammy Sosa after him. Two and 2 to Michael Young. Breaking ball hit the Betancourt. Lopez for 1, and that'll do it. RBI for Michael Young is 28th. Texas.
Just throws it wide right here. Jose has to just keep his foot on the bag. Young runs well, no chance to turn 2 once it's wide. The throw is wide.
So Vasquez is in now. He will bat for the second time. Mark Teixeira's spot vacated when Mark got injured back in the third. 1 out. Runners at the corners. Kenji scrambling. Runner holds. Young will take second.
So the double play is gone.
A wild pitch allows Young to take second. So now Vasquez has 2 RBIs out there for him.
See how John McLaren wants to play it. Looks like he's going to leave the infield back. Guys will play up on the corners.
Down low. 2-0. A struggle for Sean White since he came in, particularly this one. Ran a deep count with Kinsler before getting the third out to end the fourth. Now he's got a run in. Runners at second and third, and 1 out here in the fifth.
This is Kenji's second meeting to the mound with him. Looks like Eric O'Flaherty is going to start warming.
Vasquez has good numbers in limited action. 12 for 35 entering tonight. Sean White not even close. Struggling. Sammy Sosa's on deck. It's a 1-run game. Mariners 7-6. Ball 4. Bases loaded. again.
He's just having a tough time of it.
Well, Sammy Sosa did not have a lot of laughs here last night, Mike.
No. You mentioned the strikeouts earlier. You see, it was on that kind of stuff. Breaking balls and change-ups.
Straight gas from Brandon Morrow. Struck out 4 times last night. Sammy had a base hit sprinkled in there. 1 for 5. Tonight, Sammy is flown out to left, bounced back to the pitcher, and a sacrifice. Sac fly, so he's 0 for 2. Strike 1 with the curve. Doing their best to stay away, feeding him fastballs in the zone. 0-1 to Sosa. Breaking ball missed. Jason Davis warming up. 1-1 to Sosa. Fastball tapped. Lopez charge. He'll get the 1 out. And the score's tied at 7-7. So Sosa gets his second RBI. Keita comes around to score.
Thought maybe when Sammy hit the ball that White was going to have a chance to cut it off, but it was just over his head. Betancourt even took a look at home, but he didn't have much of a play there. I think he made the right play, just go first and get the out. Ball game is tied up again.
Lucky 7s right now. Shaun White needs to get out of here because Texas still has 2 on. A lot of runs tonight.
You know, we've talked so much about the offense. The pitching really has been good too through this run that the Mariners have had.
How to get that, and how did Beltre make that throw? That was a heck of a pitch. Diaz put it in play, and a better play by Beltre to end the inning. But the Texas Rangers come back to tie the score at 7-7. It's going to be a wild one, folks. Richie Sexson leads off against Kevin Millwood in a wild game. 4.5 innings played, and it's 7-7. Richie Sexson tonight, 1 for 2 with an RBI. No lead has been safe tonight, Mike.
It's been a strange game.
Boy.
Rangers have 10 hits. The Mariners have 8. Both clubs with an error. Just 1 strikeout in the game.
Sexton fouls it off. And has been different. Millwood's at 70 pitches. Jared Washburn long gone. He will not, at least he gets off the hook. He's not responsible for an L. Catches a break there. 1-2 to Sexton.
And the sad part for Jared really is he's a guy out of the group that hasn't had much run support. He finally gets some runs tonight, and it's the one time this year that he goes out there and doesn't have his best stuff. And you know, we haven't seen him have the control problems that he's had tonight. He's been so good over the first 2 months of the season.
2-2 to Sexton. Another base hit up the middle for Richie Sexton. Back to backers for Richie. Hey, earlier we told you about a little fracas amongst the Chicago Cubs. Zambrano, the pitcher, and Barrett, the catcher. Well, here's Lou Pinella's reaction to that whole situation today.
Frustrated. Look, you know, you don't want to see people fight one another on your own team. You don't want to see that. You really don't. And at the same time, you don't like to see some of the silliness that's going on the field. You know, I only have so many players that I can play. You know, and it's about time some of them start playing like major leaguers. Or get somebody else in here that can catch a damn ball or run the bases properly. All right? That's all I can say.
Well, Dave Niehaus accurately predicted, almost word for word, that tirade. When we first heard about it this afternoon, we're getting ready in radio. And
I've definitely heard it before.
yeah.
I like at the end. All right. And the reporter, okay. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Kenji, backhand effort, not going to get it done by Vasquez. Everybody's safe. E5. And the Mariners get the first two on. Good to see Lou Piniella coming up. Trip to Chicago. Millwood's Texas #1 pitcher, back from 2 stints on the DL, hamstring issues. He's given up 9 hits, 7 runs, 9 hits. And is in a jam here to Beltre. Beltre has 3 career home runs off of Millwood. Fouled that one off the catcher. Adrian entered tonight his previous 7 games on a .536 tear. Two on, nobody out. Swing and a miss. Well, the sun was pretty high in the sky in this Chamber of Commerce spectacular day here in Seattle. Gone down considerably. It's still plenty of light here. A little bit after 9 Pacific Daylight Time. 0-2 to Beltre. And he's down, 1 out. Well, the Mariners took advantage of some mistakes last inning.
See this play by Young. He throws it in the dirt. Double play ball, but except for he forgot how many outs there were. And again, this is what the guys have been doing. They get a break here and there. They're picking the runners up when they get those opportunities. See if that holds true in this inning. Already an error in this inning.
Beltre strikes out second time. Millwood has keyed one of the Mariners. The Banyas went down to the 4th. Here's Betancourt. He's twice grounded out to the shortstop, Michael Young. You only get a 12-game hitting streak going. 2-0.
Millwood's starting to throw a lot more sliders. 80 pitches now.
As Richie Sexton, he reached on a base hit. Kenji Jojima reached on an error by the third baseman Vasquez. 2-0 to Betancourt. Down low, 3-0. Lopez on deck is 2 for 2 with a run scored.
Even there, he threw him a 2-0 slider.
Lopez got his numbers to 6 for 20 career. It's Wes Littleton warming up for the Texas Rangers. Ron Washington on the right, his pitching coach Mark Connor on the left. 3-0 to Uni. Fastball right down the middle, 3-1. Betancourt tied for 3rd runners in scoring position in the American League. He has done a marvelous job. 3-1 pitch coming up from Millwood. Off the fist, base hit. Carlos Garcia will hold Richie Sexton at 3rd. Bases loaded for Jose Lopez and 1 out.
Well, you see this pitch, it gets in on his hands. But it's up, so he's able to get it in the air and hit a little flare out. Luckily, you see his bat break in half.
Well, we've seen all night tonight, no lead is safe, and you can't get enough runs the way this game's going. Jose Lopez swinging a hot bat. Part of the concern for Mark Connor and company. He's got 2 base hits to the left. And over his last now 8+ games, Lopez is 15 for his last 33. Infield. See how Texas deploys here. They're going to sit back, look for 2. 1 out, bases loaded in a 7-7 game, 10 hits apiece. Hit sharply to Young. Kinsler, Cada, double play. So they get out of the inning, and nobody scores. 7-7 ball game. 7-7. 10 men left on by the Texas Rangers. 5 for the Mariners as we take a look at a Quest Spirit of Service, and JJ puts out the lights. All right, 12 for 12 in save opportunities in 13 plus innings, no runs, 3 hits, and opponents can't get a break. 0.75. Good look at our Quest Spirit of Service. Marlon Byrd leads it off here in the 6th. And Sean White. First 2 Rangers batters have reached base in 4 of the 5 innings, all but the 2nd inning. One and 1 to Marlon Byrd. Washburn started the game for the Mariners with 3 2/3, gave up 9 hits. Sean White had trouble with his control. He's behind 3-1 to Marlon Byrd, leading off the 6th. On deck is Ian Kinsler. Swing and a miss by Byrd. 3-2.
Looks like Eric O'Flaherty's still throwing out in the pen. There's Eric.
Fouled away. Byrd, Kinsler, and Laird here in the 6th. Texas Rangers lead the American League in homers, but they're next to last in batting average and ERA and defense. And 8-20 on the road, which is the worst record in baseball.
Happy to get out of the month of May. They lost 20 games in May.
Goodness gracious. Here's White's 3-2 pitch. Ripped. Left field, base hit. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar. Brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Finish up Saturday action with the Rangers, and Sunday then Baltimore comes in. Travel day, and head to San Diego, Cleveland, Chicago, and Houston, the last of the 10-day trips on the season. White could use a double play grounder right here. Low ball 1 to Ian Kinsler.
So early in the ball game, as a manager, you almost throw all the stuff out and let the guys keep hacking. You know,
sure.
You just don't know how many runs are going to be enough. It's just one of those games, and so to try to bunt, hit and run, those kind of things, they're almost reluctant to give up outs because of the amount of runs that are being scored.
11 hits for the Rangers, 10 for the Mariners. White keeping Byrd close. Byrd with no stolen bases this season. He's been caught once. Kinsler wants to go through the signs again with third base coach Don Wakamatsu. Kinsler's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This is low, 2-0. On that hard overhand slider and just not getting the snap. He's not getting the location that he usually gets. Talking about Shaun White.
He's just struggling. You know, it happens, and I could take a deep breath behind the mound, try to regroup a little bit, but you know, you just have some of those nights. Even some of the best in the business we saw with Jared tonight.
He walked 4 and didn't strike out anybody.
Well, and that's something that you just haven't seen out of him. Sometimes you have those nights, and he did, and now Shaun is really struggling with a walk.
There's 2 reach again. And Shaun White, that is his third walk.
I think Chavez is going to go out and talk to him. He's going to make a pitching change.
Going to bring in O'Flaherty to face Gerald Laird, who hurt the Mariners last night with a big 3-run homer. Wild one here at Safeco. And Seattle, Edgar Martinez, they had a luncheon for him today. He was emotional there, and he expects to be fully emotional tomorrow when he goes into the Mariners Hall of Fame.
It's going to be emotional like today, but it's such a great honor that I think I'm going to try to enjoy the most I can, and but definitely I think it's going to be a little emotional.
Quality man there, Edgar Martinez. Well, here that's our Geico quote for this evening. A little bit of a jam for Eric O'Flaherty. Nobody out, runners at first and second. Laird shows bunt, and it's ball 1. Flaherty's numbers.
Really good ERA. The opponent's batting average is .218 off of him.
Done scoreless work in 7 of 10 games. Peltre in tight, anticipating a bunt here from Gerald Laird, Rangers catcher. Up high, 2-0. And swinging away here, 2-0.
I would think so.
Peltre in tight. He did. Popped it up. Banez make that Ichiro. He'll make the catch. There's one out here in the 6th. I'll bring up Matt Keita. Keita started the night at third base, has moved over to first base with the injury to Mark Teixeira. Teixeira in the 3rd inning scoring from second. Ball ricocheted, throw from the outfield, ricocheted and hit him under the eye, left eye. Left the game with a mild concussion.
Talking about it being one of those games, the Mariners pitching staff ranked 4th in base on balls. They just haven't really walked guys this year. They've been very good, but there's already 7 walks, a hit batter in this game tonight. But they've been really good in that category. It's been the Rangers that have had struggles. They're last in the league, walking the most. In Seattle, we just haven't seen this, you know, out of all the guys. Yeah.
1-0 pitch to Keita. This is away, 2-0. But Washburn wasn't sharp. He walked 4. White had his share. Now O'Flaherty is behind 2-0.
Yeah, 4 is his season high this year. When you look at his outings, working from his last one back, it's been 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. You know, that kind of thing.
Flaherty, first outing since we were in Tampa recently. Bears a strike on the inside corner, 3-1. Back on the 24th of May. Barrett's last appearance. 8 days ago. 3-1. Top of the order looms next in Kenny Lofton. Out of the way, so Flaherty has worked his way back to 3-2 with 1 out. Runners at first and second. Marlon Byrd started the inning. Got a base hit to left after working a long 3-2 count. Kinsler walked on 4 pitches. That was the end of the night for Sean White. Laird flied out to Ichiro. And here's Keita now, 3-2.
Good idea by Eric. Just to take a look, see if he wants to send the runners. I don't know if Washington will or not. Kay has struck out 17 times and 62 at bats.
Tell you what, you look at the left on base. Rangers have left 10. Mariners fortunate to be 7-7. Mariners have left 5 on base.
Well, Rangers have had men in scoring position every inning.
They've left 1, 2, 2, 3, and 2 on base through the first 5 innings. Flaherty could use a double play ground ball right about here. Beltre. Lopez. Oh, he dropped it, but they'll give him the out at second. Second time tonight, Lopez on the transfer hasn't been able to complete the double play.
Well, you'll see that Adrian fields it cleanly and makes a strong throw. It's accurate right to him. He just drops it. You're right on the transfer there.
The runners at the corners now for Texas with 2 down. Bird took third on the play. Keita reaches on a fielder's choice. And Kenny Lofton got an infield hit his first time up. His last time up, he's 2 for 4.
Yeah, he dropped down a great bunt, trying to move the runners up, and ended up beating the throw.
And there's a line drive to Betancourt, inning over. Little escapism by Eric O'Flaherty, and the Mariners 7-up is the score for the Rangers and the Mariners in this Sunday. Another great kids giveaway thanks to Pepsi and QFC. All kids in attendance will receive a Mariners photo frame courtesy of Pepsi and QFC. Come watch the Mariners take on the AOS rival Texas Rangers at 1:05, and all kids take home this great Mariners photo frame. For tickets, visit mariners.com today. Evening over for Kevin Millwood. 5 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 2 in an 84 pitch performance. Same amount of pitches that Washburn threw in 3.3 and 2/3 innings. Next pitcher is Wes Littleton, 24 older, 6'2", 210, out of Hayward, California. Lives in Canyon Lake, California. And Ichiro will lead it off. Ichiro 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored tonight. And he's got an RBI. A wacky game, Mike.
Well, you feel like you were saying, you mentioned it earlier before it was even 7-7. But this was looking like that Cleveland-Detroit game where it was 12-11. Cleveland scores 5 runs in the 9th to win it. So who knows what's going to happen. That's one of the games that's been a little bit sideways today. This looks like another one.
Let me guess, Hafner hit a home run or something in there?
Peralta hit a home run in that game. Michaels hit a home run in that game.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. Todd Jones, he gave it up.
Ichiro sends one to left field. Marlon Byrd makes the play.
Victor Martinez hit 2.
Oh, there you go. He's having a heck of a year.
Yeah.
All-star caliber. He and, we talked about this last night, Kenji Martinez, Mauer. Going to be three top guys in terms of catching. I mean, they're all doing a great job swinging the bat. They're all terrific defensive catchers as well.
You mentioned Posada.
Posada's like that.
He's out in front. Yeah.
Couple of hops. Kinsler for the out. Oh, Francisco Rodriguez shuts down Baltimore. Matthews Jr. 1 for 3, 2 runs knocked in. Baltimore, which had won 6 straight. That streak is over.
They have the lead in that one 2-0.
And Broussard pinch hitting. Pinch hitting for Guillen. Broussard, ace pinch hitter for the ball club. He's 3 for 7 on the season. Pinch hit grand slam in Anaheim in our first trip there early in the year. That means Guillen, having been hit on that elbow, and the fact that Ben's left-handed in a 1-run game, good play out in right field. Pulled foul. Mike Goff showing a little 2-step there.
I'm sure he had some swelling going on. He tried to play through it.
Wes Littleton. .208 ERA in 4 games. 2-1 to Ben Broussard. Broussard with 3 homers in his 53 at bats. Cranks this one right field. It's going to stay in the park though. Victor Diaz is there. Easy inning for Littleton. 3 up and 3 down. 6 in the books. 7 apiece. Tomorrow night, Edgar Martinez will become the 4th member of the Mariners Hall of Fame, joining Mr. Mariner, Alvin Davis, the Bone, Jay Buhner, and our very own Dave Niehaus. Join us tomorrow for Edgar Martinez Hall of Fame night here, presented by WAMU. Plan to arrive early for the induction ceremony beginning at 6:30. Tickets still available at Mariners.com. Edgar Martinez, Mariners Hall of Fame night. Comebacker fielded by O'Flaherty, and that's a big out to get Michael Young. Here's a look at your TV schedule tomorrow. If you can't join us here at the ballpark, join us on FSN. We'll have our coverage beginning at 5 o'clock. 2 hours of all Edgar all the time. Here's Ramon Vasquez. 1 out here in the 7th. O'Flaherty, the 3rd pitcher for the Mariners tonight. Strike 1 from Eric.
Hopefully there's a big crowd out here tomorrow for Edgar. Should be a lot of neat things going on.
The weather stays the way it was today. Swing and a miss. Weather cooperating. And Broussard in right field. He takes over for Guillen. 14 runs, 21 hits, 3 errors tonight. These 2 teams combining for. And O'Flaherty just abuses Vasquez. Strikes him out of 3 pitches.
See this well-located pitch.
First time Mariner pitcher has struck out a Ranger hitter tonight. Two down, and here's Sammy Sosa. Sammy is 0 for 3, couple of runs knocked in tonight. Got 1 on a sacrifice in the 4th and a ground out in the 5th. Sitting on 598 career home runs. First pitch from O'Flaherty. Stay with that pattern.
Change-ups. Soft stuff. Too many fastballs to him, unless they've been in off the plate. Now the change-up.
One and 1 to Sammy Sosa. Back off a year of inactivity. And he rifles one to right field, base hit. 2 outs here in the 7th. We'll bring up Victor Diaz, the right fielder. Diaz 2 for 3, runs scored, and an RBI. "12 hits tonight for Texas. And the Rangers have left 12 men on base. The Mariners have left 5 on. 7 runs, 10 hits.
Diaz, I haven't seen much of him, but I like the way he swings the bat. He's very aggressive.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. In tight, they check first base umpire Mike Everett. He says he did go. So 1-1 to Victor Diaz. Top 7 here with 2 outs. Score locked up at 7-7. Out distribution for tonight. Slice foul. Be alive down there. Holy mackerel.
Looks like everybody's okay.
Thank goodness. There's a deflection last night. Got a gentleman on the left, on the third base side. Similar type of play. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Victor Diaz. That's down the right field line. Foul. Diaz didn't play yesterday. We look at Sean Green warming up. Here's the 1-2. Number in front, and Kenji saying that the ball was fair and he had an easy out. But Jerry Davis disagrees, and John McLaren, who took over mid-game for Mike Hargrove, who went back to Cleveland for the graduation of his daughter from high school, goes out to discuss, find out what the call was.
See if you can see anything. I don't know. Looked like when it hit the second time, it might have kicked to the right and went foul. Nice effort, though.
Great effort, no question. 1-2. Throw across to Sammy Sosa. Sammy has not attempted a stolen base. 1-2 to Diaz. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Does a good job fighting off that pitch.
Well, Flaherty's thrown everything that he has so far. You can see Joe's tracer. He's been all around the strike zone. Pretty good pitches right there, especially with 2 strikes. Everything just off the edges.
Diaz, 2-hit night, run scored, and an RBI. Sammy Sosa takes his lead. 1-2 pitch. It's at the right field. Long run, Broussard into the corner. And that's a fair ball. Rattles around in there. Sammy Sosa digging hard. They're going to wave him. Here's the throw from Lopez. It is not in time. He's safe. Rangers take an 8-7 lead.
I'd like to take another look at this. I think this ball may have bounced out. Ben Broussard's running in from right field to get the attention of the first base umpire, and he's saying, I raised my hands.
And hit up.
Sammy looks like he beat the throw in there.
Well, it's interesting. Let's see. I wonder. It hits up on the green there. And Rafi Chavez looks like he's coming out more to have a discussion with the pitcher. There's that net that bounced up and hit that. The bullpen tonight for the Mariners not having a good evening. Sammy Sosa scores from first. Sean Green will try to hold down this Texas Ranger attack. It's 8-7 Rangers. By Safeco Insurance. Find a local independent Safeco agent. Visit safeco.com. Crazy game here at Safeco Field tonight. Fourth pitcher for the Mariners, Shawn Green. This will be his 9th appearance. Still looking for his first hold. Opponent's hitting .261. 11 strikeouts, 10 walks. Washburn, White, O'Flaherty, now Green. John McLaren going over ground rules with Jerry Davis. And what happened was the ball hit by Diaz, bounced fair, and then hit up into that netting right there and came back. And obviously that is in play.
It looks like, you can see it's tied to the pole, to the foul pole up top, right up in here. So it's even with that, and there's no yellow line out there.
There's the tappers. We get back to live action. Green to Sexton, and that retires the side. Green throws one pitch. Mariners get out of the inning. Rangers put up one to take an 8-7 lead. Of Washington, log on to 3aday.org for recipes and fitness tips that you can use with dairy. 3 a day, every day. Dave Sims and Mike Lowers with you. Wacky game, eh, Mike?
It is unbelievable.
C.J. Wilson is the 3rd Texas pitcher tonight. Rangers have left 13 on. They have a 1-run lead. Raul Ibanez leads off. First pitch swinging, drives one deep left field. It's got some carry. Bird will corral it for the first out. Mariners and FSN, they're teaming up to provide area baseball coaches with valuable tips straight for the Mariners coaching staff. Attendees receive not only the valuable insight from Mariner coaches, but also a free ticket to a Mariners game. For info on the FSN Stars Coaches Clinics, call 206-346-4000 during regular business hours. Quick work for C.J. Wilson. Joaquin Benoit will come on, and he'll be facing Richie Sexson when we come back. 7th, new pitchers, Joaquin Benoit. We'll bring him in to face Richie Sexson. Meanwhile, another action. Minnesota 2-1 over Oakland. Cirillo comes through with a big RBI. That's 10th inning action. Long drive, left field. That ball is gone. A home run for Richie Sexson. Score is tied at 8.
Well, we talked about Richie and how he's been getting hot lately and driving in a bunch of runs for the Mariners, and we know that he's a guy that can carry your club. Already with a couple of base hits, ties the ball game up with a home run that got out of here in about a second.
389-footer
on a line.
3rd hit tonight, 2nd RBI, and the 8th homer for Sexton. Told you it was a wacky game. We're a long way from being over here, folks.
I'm afraid you're right.
Kenji Jojima. What a Richie smoked out.
Let's take another look at it. You see middle in, and it is just hammered.
Richie's got his batting average up to 209, starting today at 196. Richie with a 3-for-4, 2 RBI night. He's now 3 out of 10 against Benoit. Kenji with a base hit up the middle. Good hitting there on a 1-2 count. Well, if the Mariners are going to do anything this year, Richie Sexton's got to put up Richie Sexton numbers in the 30s and in the triple figures in RBIs.
Well, he will definitely do that. Ricocheted off the back wall in the bullpen.
There's Adrian Beltre. He struck out on an 0-2 pitch back in the 5th. Lowe with second. Strikeout victim of the night. He puts a charge into it. Deep center field. Lofton giving chase. That ball is. What a catch by Kenny Lofton. Wow. They double up Jojima.
Oh, what a play.
Kenny Lofton. What a spectacular catch.
Wow.
Double play. We told you Mike was a wacky game. What a catch.
Look at the concentration to go up and get this.
Oh, that was a 4-bagger.
He was way up there, too. Uses the wall right here. Steps on the wall to get a little bit extra height.
Don't forget, Kenny was a great basketball player at the University of Arizona. He's got the hops, and he just robbed Adrian Beltre, who still can't believe it. Wow, what a game. Sean Green. And Beltre stood between first and second. Thankfully, we didn't have him mic'd.
Yeah, I don't think he was happy at all.
Oh, man. You talk about doing a burn.
Well, it could have been a game winner, you know,
No
for the
question.
Mariners. 2-run homer right there would have been Adrian's 10th of the year. On the flip side, it could be a game saver by Kenny Lofton. What a catch that was.
Ooh. You've seen a lot of great catches in this building in the Kingdom. That's at least got to make top 10, right?
Oh, yeah. That's a great play. We were talking about at the break in this ballpark. I still think Raul's was a little bit better. But that was a pretty good one.
Pop foul. Raul made a great catch once. Sometime it was last year.
Went up over the wall out there. There's Raul. We're all wondering what kind of defender he was going to be, and he basically turned his back to the play and ran up the wall out there by the Pepsi sign and pulled one back.
2-2 to Kinsler. Beltre can't get it. Fair ball down the line.
He might have hurt his wrist on that too.
And there's a leadoff double by Ian Kinsler. His 7th double of the season.
You'll see him. He goes to dive for it. Typically, you're going to slide on your stomach, but he ends up sticking a little bit. You can see him roll that ankle over. He might have gotten it up off the ground in time, but it still hurts.
Man, that left wrist. Wow. So Kinsler has walked 3 times tonight. Now 1 for 2.
Take a look at this one. See a glove turn over. Basically just sticks his forearm into the ground.
Gerald Laird.
Well, here we are on the top of the 8th, and Laird, I would think, would be bunting right here. He's going to try to bunt him over with nobody out. Washington's already tried to bunt a couple different times in this ball game. Adrian and Richie are up for the bunt.
Laird with a base hit, a walk, fly out, ground it.
Ooh.
Oh, that game. Goodness gracious.
We see him come up early because he knows he's bunting, jumps out of the crouch. See him starting to get up and hits him right on that crease where the knee is.
But Jerry Davis tried to buy a few extra seconds for Kedge to shake it off. Base runner at second, Ian Kinsler. 2-2 pitch. He hammered it down the line for a double. They're trying to bunt him over. Here's Laird. 0-1 pitch. Got it down, and it's beautiful. Green pulls off the bag. First and third. Nobody out. Base hit for Laird.
See Kenny Lofton get a base hit. You can see this is a pretty good bunt. Sean throws it a little bit wide at first base.
bring up Matt Cada.
Bring out Rafi Chavez.
Cada's a switch hitter.
The Rangers have had the leadoff hitter on in 6 of the 8 innings so far.
Cada is a right-handed hitter. Entered tonight hitting a .125 as a left-handed hitter, hitting .263. They're going to bring in George Sherrill, turn him around. 8-8 ball game. Runners at the corners for Texas. Issues besides seeing Texas have runners at first and third, nobody out. Adrian Beltre on the Kinsler, double down the line. Look at that. He injured that left wrist, and he gutted it out for an at bat. He fell awkwardly on it, bent it back. During the timeout, Rick Griffin came out, checked with him, and they have to pull him. So Willie Bloomquist will go in and play third for the Mariners.
You just hope they can ice that wrist down, and tomorrow it won't be too sore and stiff. He doesn't miss too many games.
Willie, master of many gloves, is in there. Time now for Banner Bank building to the future. George Sherrill's the new pitcher. He's been marvelous. 11 games, 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 12 Ks, and the opponent's hitting only 148. They turn Cada around. He's a .263 left-handed hitter, a .125 from the right side. So they bring in the lefty to face Cada. Switch hitter. Top stick not too far below us. Strike one.
This is one of those games you feel like it is the 8th inning and you don't want to give up a run, but the way your offense is going, the way this game is going, you almost feel like you're better off giving up a run instead of 2 or 3. And
sure.
I think that's the way McLaren's going to play it.
You're just joining us. Richie Sexton in the 7th, first pitch against Benoit, homered. Jojima followed with a single. Beltre hit one over the fence, but Kenny Lofton went over and got it. And they doubled up Jojima to end the inning. And now here's Texas, runners at the corners with nobody out. Fouled it back. Kenny Lofton's on deck. Kenny's got a couple of base hits, one an infield hit. Oh, 2, Sherrill to Cada. Buried a fastball right by him.
Huge strikeout.
Yes, it was.
See George just reach back, fire. Must have buried inside.
Oh, good pitch. Overmatch. One out here in the 8th.
They still have their work cut out for them.
Sure do.
Kenny Lofton's not a guy that's.
And Michael Young to follow him.
Yeah, you hope that a double play would get you out of this, but Kenny's tough to double up.
Betancourt and Lopez halfway.
They're more than that now.
Yeah.
They're shortening it up big time.
They're going to come in on the pitch.
Well, I think they're just trying to give themselves a better opportunity off of Lofton.
First pitch from George misses away. There's
Kinsler runs well at third base.
fake throw, chases Laird back. Willie Bloomquist at third to see him trying to stretch and get loose. Kenny Lofton just missed. 2-0. Pitch to Lofton. Breaking ball, drives Raul back, makes the catch. Here's the tag, the throw, offline, cut off. Rangers regain the lead again. It's 9-8.
I don't think Raul had much of a chance. That ball was hit hard enough where it backed him up enough for Kinsler to score on it. Even if this throw was online, I don't think he's going to be able to throw him out.
Sack fly, RBI, Kenny Lofton. 14th run knocked in for Kenny. Only 2 Rangers don't have RBI. Actually, Vasquez and Kinsler are the only guys who don't have runs knocked in tonight. Everybody else has contributed to the Texas cause.
Cade's the only one that's hitless.
What a game. Balk, hit batter, super catch.
8 out of 9 Rangers with hits, 8 out of 9 Mariner with hits. Mariners have 6 different guys that scored runs tonight. Now 8 for the Rangers have scored runs tonight.
Tough out here, Michael Young. Couple runs scored, 2 hits, and an RBI. Kenny Lofton had to give Texas a 9-8 lead. A high fly ball left field, easy play for Ibanez. That'll do it for the Rangers, but they take the lead again. We go to the bottom of the 8th. A wild game, 9-8 Rangers. 4 lead changes in this game. Texas Rangers back in top, 9-8 right now. Good crowd here at Safeco Field. And Akinori Otsuka is the 5th pitcher. We've had 5 pitchers apiece in this contest tonight. 8th inning for the Mariners, Betancourt, Lopez, and Ichiro. Adrian Beltre been lost to a wrist injury. Willie Bloomquist is taking his place. What a night. Richie Sexton, big night, 3 for 4. Some even. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Dave Sims and Mike Glowers and our FSN crew here. That's why you come to the ballpark, Mike. You just never know.
You never know what you're going to see, and we've seen a lot tonight. A lot of different things going on in this ball game.
Man, oh man. Betancourt to lead off. Career, he's 1 for 4 against Otsuka. Starts him off with a fastball for a strike. Betancourt 1 for 3 tonight. 13-game hitting streak. Big hitting streak, 25 for Ichiro. Establishing a club record. Up high, 1-1. Betancourt hit a pitch like that last night, the 3rd inning against Padilla. Got a base hit to center and an RBI. Down low. Boy, 5 pitchers on each side. He's going to be left by Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
2-1 pitch. 3-1. Betancourt, Lopez, and Ichiro here in the 8th.
Betancourt's a good fastball hitter. Otsuka's fastball is pretty straight too. It's 91 miles an hour, so he's going to have to locate it. If he leaves it in the middle of the plate, Betancourt might be able to drive the ball in a gap somewhere.
Uni has 4 home runs on the season. (3-1) Otsuka to Betancourt. And on the ground, third baseman Vasquez. And holding the bag at first was Cada. Mike
nice
Everett, the
pick,
first base umpire, made sure. It was a good pick. One out here in the 8th brings up Jose Lopez. Lopez 2 for 3, couple of singles to left field. Don't forget to join us, Edgar Martinez Mariners Hall of Fame night tomorrow. Right here. favorite Mariners from the very recent past will be in town. Lopez got the batting average up to 281. That fastball fouled back 0-2. And the hitting numbers that the Mariners brought into this game certainly didn't get hurt tonight, that's for sure. Last 8 games averaging 8 runs. They're right on 8 as we speak. 0-2. 1-2 now to Lopez.
12.5 hits. They're up to 12.
There you go. 13 now of the last 16 games have had double-figure hits. Two and 2 to Lopez. Ichiro's on deck. Ichiro with a 2-hit night. Knocked in a run. Otsuka's the 5th pitcher. Used by Texas. Millwood, Littlejohn, Wilson, Benoit, now Otsuka. Outfield grass, nice play by Ian Kinsler. 2 down. Saturday, meet your favorite Mariners and get their autographs. Money raised from this event goes to Esperanza's programs. Tickets are available at Bellevue Square only on the day of the event. FSN Stars is a proud sponsor. Here's Ichiro. 3 for 5 against Otsuka career. Looks at ball 1.
Already a couple of hits tonight.
Hitting streak at 25, breaking the Joey Cora 1997 record. Time is called. 2 down here in the home 8th. 9-8 Texas Rangers. Rangers have left 14 runners on. Shows punt. Pitch in there for strike. 4 lead changes tonight. Crazy game.
I think he actually did just what you said, Dave, and that just showed it. He didn't look like he was going to really make an attempt at bunting that ball. I think he just wanted to bring Cada in a little bit more. Taking a strike.
There's a 1-1 to Ichiro. Stays away. It's 2-1. Take a look at our Panasonic pitch speed for this at bat for Ichiro. Otsuka at 90. Topping out, bottom. Change of pace, 77 miles an hour. 2 down here in the 8th. Deep right field. That's going to stay in the ballpark. Diaz is there. Try to put a charge into it and just missed. 3 up and 3 down. Rangers by 1. Pretty wild, aren't they? 9-8 Texas. Top of the 9th inning as we look at our Panasonic Plasma Speed of Sports replay. How about some robbery here? Beltre thinks he's got a 2-run homer, and Kenny Lofton says, I don't think so. What a catch. And then he throws it back in, and they double up Kenji Jojima. That was an inning that could have been. 1 out, Richie Sexton homered. Jojima followed with a base hit. You saw that Beltre blast. That would have been a 2-run job. Put the Mariners on top.
We have to look at the night, and Richie talked about the homer that he hit. He has 3 hits tonight. He'll hit 4th in the bottom of the 9th inning, so hopefully they'll find a way to get him to the plate. He's been hot tonight.
Base hit right field for Ramon Vasquez, his first tonight. He reached on an error, walked, and struck out. We'll bring up Sammy Sosa, and that's going to bring in Rafi Chavez. And he's going to make the change to the right-hander. Jason Davis is going to come on. Tell you more about Davis when we return. 9-8, top 9. Texas with a runner on top of the 9th inning. They had the leadoff hitter on, and a pitching change again. 6th pitcher for Seattle is Jason Davis. He follows Washburn, White, O'Flaherty, Green, Sherrill, and now Davis. His 15th game. And he struggled last night, giving up a walk, a strikeout, and a base hit. And all he has to do is get Sammy Sosa out here, followed by Victor Diaz. Sammy with a couple of runs knocked in. He's got a base hit tonight.
Well, if the Mariners can score a run and tie this ball game up, Jason might be out there for a while because JJ and Brandon Morrow are the only ones left in the pen. Brandon's thrown a couple of days here in a row, so I don't know what his availability is going to be.
This will be the first time that Davis and Sosa face each other. Pretty big spot here. 9-8 Texas lead. Nobody out. Runner on. Fastball misses away. Busy night for Sammy. Got the fastball he's been hungering for the last 2 nights. Got it in his zone.
And you can see how much better his swing is on the fastball. They've thrown him a lot of breaking balls and changeups. He's just a little bit late, but a very aggressive swing. We've seen him off balance a number of times on the breaking ball. See if Davis can work his way to it now.
Missed. 2-1. To Sosa. Did he go? No, he didn't, says first base umpire Mike Everett. This is what you call a favorable slugger's count, eh? 3-1.
Well, he's definitely going to look for insurance. A couple homers away from 600.
3-1 pitch. Whoa. Good fastball, good swing, no contact. 3-2.
94 miles an hour. Looks like he threw it by him. See a little tardy on the swing.
Big pitch here. 3-2 to Sosa. Stays alive.
You can see Joe's tracer there. The last pitch is up a little bit.
Minnesota takes out Oakland. Sosa continues to battle here. Well, the Angels won. They go 34-22. Oakland loses. They go a game under 500 at 26-27. 3-2 to Sosa. Lost it.
Try to get him on the breaking ball.
So Texas puts the first 2 batters on base, nobody out. And what was that number you had of the during the course of the game? Texas
7 out of the 9 innings have had the leadoff hitter on. Seventh inning it didn't happen. 6th or 8th, yeah. So 8 out of the 7 innings.
Yeah.
They've had 2 out of the first 3 hitters on.
My goodness.
That's why you're seeing that large number of left on bases tonight. Guys have been in trouble having to pitch your way out of it.
1-0 to Victor Diaz. 1-1. Victor's got a couple of runs knocked in tonight. Sacrifice fly and a double as the wind starts to pick up. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back. 1-2. Good night for Diaz. 2 singles and a double, 2 runs knocked in.
Probably hasn't bunt much, but with that kind of night, that's another reason why Ron Washington decided not to bunt here with the first 2 guys on and nobody out.
Count goes to 2-2. Marlon Byrd on deck for Texas. Mariners home 9th. 2-3-4. Vidro, Broussard. And there's another foul. Vidro, Broussard, and Ibanez. Tough out here, Victor Diaz. 2-2 pitch. Oh, racked that Kenji again. Goodness gracious. He's earning it tonight.
Make no mistake about it. Those guys putting that gear on earn it every night. Now go hit.
Yeah, right.
Brutal position.
Rob Nodine got to come out. And then last night, Padilla buried one in his ribs. Last night, that first pitch, that was in the 3rd inning.
Right. And, you know, the other things too is all the foul tips that go off of their hands. Sometimes they don't catch the ball quite right and it hits their thumb, and that thing will swell up on them too.
Right now, kids would like to get out of here with a win and get tomorrow off. Jimmy Burke will get a shot back there on Sunday or Saturday. Three and 2 to Victor Diaz, who has 3 hits on the evening, and on deck is Marlon Byrd. He has 3 hits on the evening. Fly ball center field, backing up Ichiro. Got some carry, makes the catch. Heck of a catch by Ichiro.
Man, he hit that a long way.
Sure did. Vasquez tagged and went to 3rd. What a catch.
This ball's also turning away from him. You can see him starting to move to his right, was slicing a little bit.
Yeah, he made a heck of an adjustment. See that? The way his body turned, the way his glove turned. One out here in the 9th. Runners at the corners. Marlon Byrd, a 3-hit night with an RBI. Willie Bloomquist at 3rd. Beltre out with a wrist injury. Well, now we're being told sprained left thumb for Beltre. No word on how long he'll be out. But that's a huge loss. Beltre on fire, swinging the bat. His last 7 games, he had .536 average entering tonight. Swing and a miss by Byrd. 0-2. Four lead changes in this game. Most recent one has put Texas on top. That was in the 8th. Whoa, what was that? Thankfully, that timeout had been called. And clearly called time.
Yeah, Davis was looking over at first base when it was called.
0-2 to Byrd. Misses away. 1-2. Fans are booing, but that pitch wasn't close. 1-2 pitch. Down low. 2-2.
Pretty good fastball now. 195. He's consistently been at 94 with his fastball.
20 pitches, third batter for Davis. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away. Mariners open up the scoring on a sac fly by Guillen. And then back and forth all night.
Oh,
my goodness, that broken bat went straight up the middle. He's left with just a handle.
Hopefully on the replay we can see how close this is to his thumb, because that was deep in his kitchen.
Man.
Just saws it right in half. Let's take a look. You can see the run on it. Wow, that's in there pretty good.
2-2 pitch. Down low. 3-2. Well, 3-ball count now to 3 consecutive hitters. Sosa walked. Diaz flied to center, deep center, and here's a 3-2 again. Up high, bases loaded. Davis comes in and walks 2 of the 3 batters that he's faced.
Chavez out to the mound.
Ralphie getting some mileage in tonight.
Gosh, catchers are going up. Laird's been out there a number of times tonight for Texas.
Beltre's thumb. We saw balk.
Hit batter.
3 errors between the 2 teams. Super catch by Kenny Lofton. Ichiro makes a running catch this inning that's real good. What a game. Now 1 out here, top 9. Texas trying to build on a 1-run lead. Here's Ian Kinsler. He's walked 3 times, grounded out, and last time up he doubled down the left field line. That's a play that Beltre got hurt on. Sprained left thumb for Adrian.
They try to cut Vasquez off at the plate here with 1 out and the bases loaded. Bring the infield in.
0-1 pitch. Mid bases.
Not by much.
One to Kinsler. Kenji did a heck of a job to keep that. There it is. 2-1. Vasquez, Sosa, Bird, your base runners. 2-1 pitch. Well, Tapper, Lopez will come home. Got the force. He did.
Nice play by Kenji.
It was.
He not only had to stretch out there, but he had to pick it on a short hop. Ron Washington's going to yell at him, scream and yell, saying his foot was off the plate, but it's hard to tell when the play was developing. But he makes a nice play, like a first baseman on this. You see Jose coming home, has to turn his body all the way around, throws a little bit of a 2-seamer. You can see this play. His foot's on the plate. Nice play.
And luckily, Davis ducked. Did you see that? The pitcher ducked because he was right in the line of
Well, he needed
throw.
to. What is he, 6'8"?
Yeah.
Wow, what a play by Kenji.
Bases are still loaded. 2 outs for Gerald Laird. Infield hit last time up. Slicing drive to Broussard. And the Mariners have to overcome a 1-run deficit. 9-8 as we head to the bottom of the ninth, and they're going to have to do it against one of the best, Eric Gagne. Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by your Northwest Chevy dealers. See your Northwest Chevy dealers today or visit us online at northwestchevydealers.com. By Sterling Savings, the perfect fit bank. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com. Wacky night here at the ballpark. Now we get a look at Eric Gagne. Serve some time on the DL. 3 for 3 in save opportunities. A dominant closer before injuries really brought his, it didn't bring his career to a halt, but it certainly slowed it when he was in LA with the Dodgers. What's he got left, Mike?
Well, we're going to find out. We saw him earlier, and he seemed like he was throwing okay. He used to throw really hard. He was 95, 96, 97 in that area. But without having really seen him this year, you saw he's 3 for 3 in the save opportunities. He hasn't pitched a lot. It's 11 innings.
Vidro, Broussard, and Ibanez. Marlon Byrd moves from left to center. Nelson Cruz is in left. A couple of defensive changes. Gagne, ball 2. Gagne saved 55 games for the Dodgers in 03, 52 in 02, and another 45 in 04. And he is in a 3-0 hole real quick.
You have to wonder, after all those saves in a short amount of time, it finally took its toll on him.
And he's with the Dodgers in 05. Up and down, in and out the DL last year. Throws a strike there.
Remember Bobby Thigpen? Had over 50 plus saves, almost 60 one year. And having talked to him about it, he said that when he went through it, he was fine that year. He said when he came back the next year in spring training, he didn't feel the same.
Right elbow surgery on Gagne has cost a lot of effectiveness. And here's Ben Broussard as Vidro draws a leadoff walk. Jason Ellison will run for him. Been sitting for the last 3.5 hours, but Jason Ellison does run well. Gagne facing Broussard. Ben is 2 for 3 career against Gagne. Ball 1. Broussard came in for Guillen, who was hit on the elbow. This is Ben's second at bat tonight. Flied out to right, back in the 6th.
I'll tell you one thing we know about Ben is he can hit a fastball. Gagne falls too far behind and has to serve one up. Look out.
Gagne's given up 1 home run so far this season. 2-0. Gagne, 1 home run and 11 plus innings as a Texas Ranger. Picked up a save a couple of days ago at Oakland. Didn't give up any runs in 2/3 of an inning, and all of his 3 saves have come on the road. And right now he's in a hole. He's already walked Vidro. 2-0 to Broussard, who can end it right here. Oh, he had a good cut.
Mariners right now, all they have is Jamie Burke left on their bench. We talked about it, the injury to Guillen, and Beltre had to come out because of that. So Ellison running now just leaves you with Jamie Burke.
Willie Bloomquist already in the game. All the bench players have been used. Ben came in. 2-1. Change of pace there.
Good
Beauty.
one.
2-2.
Let's see the action on this pitch. 84 miles an hour.
Ben Broussard. 3 homers, 9 RBIs. Looks at strike 3. He's done.
And he comes right back with it again. You can see the movement on it.
Bring up Raul Ibanez. 2-run single. Back in the 3rd. Strike 1 from Gagne. First time Raul is facing Eric Gagne. French-Canadian youngster. Got to be a little bit too big to play hockey, so turn to baseball. Fouled back 0-2. Richie Sexton's on deck. Richie homered his last time up in the 7th. He's got a 3-hit night, 3 for 4 with 2 runs batted in.
Be tough to score Ellison on a double. That Ranger outfielders are all playing up against the warning track right now, taking away the double.
0-2. Popped it up and fouled back out of play.
He hung that change up. See, it's up out over the plate. You can see how deep the outfielders are.
Many of the 34,570 still on hand here. Don't forget Edgar Martinez, Mariners Hall of Fame night. Induction ceremonies tomorrow evening. Make sure you join us. Here's the 0-2 to Ibanez. Little tapper foul. Good job by Raul to get a piece of that. Raul has not homered since the 19th of April. There's Alvin Davis, Mr. Mariner. A chance to meet him for the first time today. Good guy. One out here in the bottom of the 9th. Texas holding a 9-8 lead. 4 lead changes in this wacky game tonight at Safeco. 0-2 to Raul. On the ground to Kinsler. Young for 1. Back to Queta. Safe. You call this, Mike. If you can just get Sexton to the plate, it's going to happen right here. There's 2 down in the 9th. And Richie, last time out, powdered it.
Well, you knew hitting 4th, if he came to the plate, he'd have an opportunity. Because somebody was going to have to get on base, and that's exactly what they have right now with 2 outs. Now it just becomes a guessing game between him and Gagne, whether he's going to hit a fastball or a changeup, and when he's going to get that pitch.
Richie's 1 for 3 career against Gagne. Game on the line. 1 run. First pitch. Ball 1.
And he spiked the changeup. He's thrown a couple of them up. He hangs a changeup. Richie, with the way he's swinging right now, 3 hits in the ball game, including that homer, could do some damage.
Big spot for both Gagne and Sexton. Fastball misses away. 2-0. Richie's got his batting average up to 209. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss.
Didn't give in to him. 2-0 changeup. Richie took a big swing at it, which is okay. He's ahead in the count. Take a shot. If it's a fastball, he might hit it out of here. Gagne didn't give in to him. Now he's going to have to try to work the count back again.
2-1 to Sexton with 2 outs. Bottom 9. Popped it up over our heads. 2-2. Richie representing the winning run. Eric Gagne, once one of the premier closers until right elbow surgery. Really cut short his productivity. Here's the 2-2 to Sexton.
Oh, just gets a piece of the changeup.
That was a good pitch too. That's a good piece of hitting by Sexton to stay alive.
He has some great arm action on his changeup. What I mean by that is he's not giving it away. His arm's coming through like he's throwing a fastball with the same kind of speed. in about the same slot. Difficult thing to do.
Well, Gagne's had a chance to think about it. He's set, and so is Sexton. 2-2 pitch, 2 outs, and now Gagne going to back off a little bit.
I don't know what the problem can be. He's thrown 2 pitches. Either a fastball or a changeup the whole time.
Now here we go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner at first. Sexton representing the winning run. Got him!
Breaking ball. Wow.
Game over, and a huge strikeout for Eric Gagne. That'll do it for the Mariners. The game's over 9-8. The Rangers win despite leaving a team record 17 men on base. Best of Edgar. Lady Huskies coming up in the M's Clubhouse reaction. This series is tied at 1-1.